Okay. So any doubts relates to basic terminology? If no doubts, I will move to next one. Plain text, ciphertext, encipher, decipher, cryptography, cryptanalysis, and cryptology. All of you are clear about these concepts or these terminology. Okay, right. I will move to next one. So this is the introduction about how or what is the purpose of cryptography and network security. So in today's the information is collected by an organization is maintained in the form of digital information. So all the information is stored in electronic form only. In olden days, the information is stored in physical files. So the files should be maintained at secure place by placing in a safe or almara, etc. But here in today, all the information is stored in electronic form. So instead of storing it in physical files, it is stored in a system or it is stored in a computers. And also the information is exchanged between two parties in the form of electronic media, the form of digital transmission only. So in these cases, the security is the main goal to attain to maintain the information in secure manner. So that the information did not changed by any unauthorized persons. So the files which are going to store in a computer system should be having confidentiality, integrity, and the availability. So confidentiality means any unauthorized person is not able to see the information. That is the confidentiality. Next one, integrity. Integrity means only the authorized persons are able to change the information, but any unauthorized person means the persons those who are not having any right to modify the information. Those persons are not able to modify the data. That is the protected from unauthorized access. Okay, third one, all the data is stored in a digital form. So whenever the authorized persons are needed to change the information, at that time the information should be available. That is the availability. So whenever an authorized entity wants to change the information or want to read the information, the data should be available. That is the third one. So all of these are the security goals. So this is the what is the main principle behind the cryptography. We are already told that the cryptography is a study of various encryption algorithms and what are the methods to implement that encryption and how to achieve the security goals with the help of cryptography. So the main aim of cryptography is the protecting of information in a secure format. So it is also used to protect the digital data. Here the sender wants to send the text to the receiver. Here the sender wants to send an information to the receiver. All the cryptography techniques here are concentrated on how to encrypt the data. How to encrypt the data. The main concentration is based on how to encrypt the data only. So here the plain text. The plain text is the original message which the sender wants to transmit over a digital media. So whenever a plain text is transmitted, the encryption algorithm will take the plain text as one argument and the encryption key, the key which is used to convert the plain text into the ciphertext, that is said to be encryption key. These two are taken by the encryption algorithm as arguments. So encryption algorithm is nothing but a function which is in C. Just like it is a function, nothing but a function. The functionality of this algorithm is to convert the plain text into the ciphertext. How it converts a plain text into ciphertext is a different criteria. Different encryption algorithms are there. The working principle behind encryption algorithm is varies from one algorithm to another algorithm. Any algorithm which takes two arguments, one is plain text and another one is encryption key. These two arguments are passed to the encryption algorithm. This algorithm converts this plain text into the ciphertext with the help of an encryption key. So this ciphertext is going to transmit in the digital transmission form in uh, network. So instead of plain text, we are going to transmit ciphertext through the network. So here, interceptor is an attacker. His work is always what is the text going on to the sender to the receiver. So if he is not able to find the what is the original text because he don't know what is the key used. If he knows about the encryption algorithm, but he will not know the encryption key. So he can't do anything. Just like your ATM card. If I am having your ATM card, but I don't know your PIN. So this is an ATM card. I don't know the key. So I am not able to do anything. So this is the encryption process. Here the text is received by the receiver. At the receiver end, the data is decrypted to get the original text. So here also the decryption algorithm takes two arguments. One argument is the ciphertext which is received through the network and another one is the decryption key. So decryption key. So these two keys, the key which are going to use for encryption purpose and the key which are going to use for decryption purpose may be same or may be different. That is the next issue. So here also one key is there. Here also one ciphertext input is there. So both encryption algorithm and decryption algorithm will take two arguments. Here the encryption algorithm takes plain text and encryption key as an arguments and it produces the ciphertext. The decryption algorithm will take ciphertext and decryption key as an argument and it will produce as the plain text. And it will produce as the plain text. This is the criteria which is behind the cryptography to maintain the confidentiality. To maintain the confidentiality or integrity or um, integrity also. So depending upon the keys used, both are same or different keys. That is the different issue. So this is the cryptography basic principle. Is there any doubts? If it is clear, then we are able to understand all the remaining units. This is the
Ma'am,
basic. Cheppamma.
in the sixth question, the combination of encryption algorithm and decryption algorithm is called cryptograph cipher అని చెప్పారు కదా.
అవునమ్మా. Cipher
ఇక్కడ
అంటే కాంబినేషన్ ఆఫ్ బోత్ ఎన్క్రిప్షన్ అండ్ డిక్రిప్షన్.
అంటే మరి ఇక్కడ క్రిప్టోగ్రఫీలో ఎన్క్రిప్షన్ అల్గోరిథం డీక్రిప్షన్ అల్గోరిథం రెండు యూస్ చేస్తాం.
అవునా, రెండింటిని కలిపి సైఫర్ అంటాం.
ఓకే.
కానీ మనం చేసే వర్క్ అంతా కూడా ఎన్క్రిప్షన్ ఎలా జరుగుతుంది అనేది చూపిస్తాం కానీ రివర్స్ ప్రాసెస్ ఏంటి అనేది మనం డిస్కస్ చేయం.
ఓకే
అంటే ద ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ రివర్స్ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ ఎన్క్రిప్షన్ ఇస్ ద డిక్రిప్షన్ అని చెప్తాం కానీ వర్కౌట్ చేయం దాని గురించి.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
నేను మీకు ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పాను నేను రామా, దట్ ఈస్ ద బేసిక్ సైఫర్. సో రామా ఈస్ ద ప్లేన్ టెక్స్ట్, కీ ఈస్ ద 3.
ఎస్
how
మ్యామ్.
to how to convert that plain text into cipher text?
బై
Just
యాడింగ్.
move forward, just move forward to 3 letters.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
Okay, here the encryption algorithm is the basic cipher. It will takes Rama as one input, 3 is another input. Okay, it produces UDPD. UDPD. UDPD is the cipher text. This cipher text and the key 3 both are taken by the decryption algorithm. Here the encryption algorithm and decryption algorithm together called as a cipher. Okay,
మ్యామ్. ఓకే
it will
మ్యామ్.
produces Rama again. It will produces Rama again. This is the basic principle of confidentiality. Okay, ఇది కాన్ఫిడెన్షియాలిటీకి బేసిస్ ప్రిన్సిపల్. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ ఎవడైతే హ్యాకర్ ఉంటాడో, హ్యాకర్ వాంట్స్ టు చేంజ్ యూడిపిడి ఫ్రమ్ యూడిడిడి. యూడిడిడి. సో హియర్ P is changed as D. With some other techniques, the receiver is able to identify that something is modified. సో ఎప్పుడైతే వీడికి యూడిపిడి రిసీవ్ అవుతుందో, రిసీవర్ అనేవాడు యూడిపిడి రిసీవ్ అయితే ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ కరెక్ట్. బట్ ద యూడిపిడి ఈజ్ కన్వర్టెడ్ ఇంటూ యూడిడిడి. ఓకే, క్లియరా? యూడిడిడి. హ్యాకర్ అనేవాడు ఏం చేస్తున్నాడంటే పీని డీగా మార్చేశాడు. క్లియర్ అమ్మా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
సో
థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్.
పీని డీగా మార్చాడా, పీని ఎక్స్గా మార్చాడా, ద రిసీవర్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై, బట్ హీ ఐడెంటిఫైస్ దట్ సంథింగ్ గోయింగ్ రాంగ్. ఓకే, యూడిపిడిగా రిసీవ్ అయితే రిసీవర్ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తాడు. యూడిపిడిగా కాకుండా యూడిడిడిగా రిసీవ్ అయితే రిసీవర్ విల్ నో సంథింగ్ ఈజ్ వెంట్ రాంగ్. బట్ ఏది మారింది అనేది చెప్పలేడు, కానీ కొంత ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అయితే అక్కడ ఏదో జరిగింది, హ్యాకర్ హ్యాక్ చేశాడు అని మాత్రం రిసీవర్ విల్ ఐడెంటిఫైస్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద బేసిక్ ఆఫ్ క్రిప్టోగ్రఫీ. నెక్స్ట్ వన్, these are the components of any crypto systems. So one is the plain text. Plain text means the original text which is in readable format. Cipher text means the encoded form which is in unreadable format. Encryption algorithm is used to convert the plain text into the cipher text. Decryption algorithm, it is the exactly reverse process of the encryption algorithm. That is, the cipher text is converted into the plain text. Next, encryption key and decryption key. So entire cryptography, here we are going to use a single key or 2 keys only. So what is the difference between those two techniques are we are going to learn in next slide. So here encryption key is used to encrypt the data. Decryption key is used to decrypt the data. So here encryption algorithm will takes 2 inputs. One input is plain text and another input is encryption key. Same way decryption algorithm also takes 2 inputs. One input is cipher text and another input is decryption key. So this is the these are the major components of any crypto system. So this is the types of cryptography. Here majorly 3 types of cryptographic systems are there. First one, symmetric encryption. Second one, asymmetric encryption. And third one is the hash functions. So in general, hash functions are used to maintain the integrity. So integrity maintain cheyadam kosam we are going to use hash functions. All these MD5, SHA and other hash functions are we are going to learn in upcoming units. So completely hash functions are used to maintain the integrity or to identify any integrity related issues. Okay, hash functions అనేవి integrity maintain చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తాం. These are the different hash functions. One is MD5, message digest. Second one is SHA, secure hash algorithm, and so many other algorithms are there. So these are the hash functions. All of these are used for integrity purpose. So next one here in second unit, we are going to learn about various symmetric encryption techniques. Here, symmetric encryption techniques are also known as public key encryption techniques. Public key encryption techniques. Asymmetric encryption techniques are also known as private key encryption techniques. Private key encryption techniques. So, okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. 1 minute, Amma. Here, this diagram, a small mistake is there. Symmetric encryption techniques is also known as private key encryption. Asymmetric encryption is known as public key encryption. So both of these two are please reversed. I will change the slide and I am again share it in the materials place. So here asymmetric encryption, two keys are used. In symmetric encryption, one key is used. Symmetric key encryption, only one key is used. Okay. A single key is used for both encryption and decryption purposes. Okay. అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా? In symmetric encryption, a single key is used for both encryption and decryption. అర్థమవుతుందా? హలో.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Both encryption and decryption algorithm will uses a single key. Same. 3 is used for converting Rama to the UDPD and 3 is used for converting UDPD to Rama. So ikkada key is same for both encryption and decryption process. That type of encryption is said to be symmetric encryption or private key encryption. These two are reversed. Symmetric encryption is also known as private key encryption. Here only one key is used for both encryption and decryption purposes. The key should be maintained securely. This is the major disadvantage in the private key encryption. మన ఒక్కళ్ళకే తెలిస్తే దట్ ఈస్ ద సెక్యూర్డ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. ఇంకో పర్సన్కి తెలిసింది అంటే దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ సెక్యూర్డ్. ఓకే. సో ఇక్కడ హియర్ ద కీ ఈజ్ షేర్డ్ ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ సెండర్ అండ్ ద రిసీవర్. The key is shared in between sender and the receiver because both encryption and decryption algorithm uses same key. Encryption process is done at the sender side, whereas decryption process is done at the receiver side. So both sender and receiver are used the same key. That is the main drawback in the symmetric encryption techniques. All of these are the symmetric encryption techniques. So here black and stream ciphers are two types of ciphers. I am going to explain what is black cipher and what is stream cipher. These are the private key encryption techniques algorithms. DES, data encryption standard, which is very very important in the examination point of view, as well as AES, advanced encryption standard, and blowfish, and some other all algorithms. RC4, TKIP, and others. These are the stream ciphers. These are the black ciphers. So what is the difference between black cipher and stream cipher? So here this algorithm will not take the entire plain text as a single unit. Plain text మొత్తాన్ని ఒకేసారి తీసుకోదమ్మా. It should have some size restriction. Some size restriction. That means the entire plain text is divided into some blocks. Each and every block with the private key combination is given as an input to the algorithm. Suppose plain text will have 100 characters, but this algorithm will take only 5 characters. Okay, the same process is repeated at 20 times. First 5 characters with the key, it will produces one ciphertext block. Next 5 characters and with the same key it will produces another 5 characters. This is the concept behind block ciphers. అర్థమవుతుందా బ్లాక్ సైఫర్స్? హలో,
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
బ్లాక్ సైఫర్స్ అర్థమైందా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
ఓకే. స్ట్రీమ్ సైఫర్. In stream cipher, the stream means continuous flow. So here character by character is converted into the decrypted format. So there is no size restriction. Whatever the length it may have, a character by character is converted continuously up to end of the character. This is the concept behind stream ciphers. So all of these comes under symmetric encryption. Symmetric encryption. All of these are comes under symmetric encryption. Next one, asymmetric encryption. Just these two arrows are reversed. Here all of you put A. Here the A should be removed. Okay, clear? మా ఇక్కడ ఏ పెట్టాలి, ఇక్కడ ఏ తీసేయాలి. అర్థమైందా?
Yes, ma'am.
నేను మళ్ళీ మాడిఫై చేసి పోస్ట్ చేస్తాను మీకు. సో హియర్ asymmetric encryption, a name itself asymmetric. Here we are going to use two different keys. Both of these two keys are mathematically related. How it is possible? You may see in third unit. So two keys are used. That's why this is said to be public key encryption. Here one key is used for encryption purpose and second related key is used for decryption purpose. Okay, here please listen carefully. Two keys are used. One key is used for encryption and another key is used for decryption. So all these two keys are mathematically related. So one is encryption purpose and one is decryption purpose. Those two keys are said to be, one is private key and another one is public key. Okay, ఒకటి ప్రైవేట్ కీ అంటాం, ఒకటి పబ్లిక్ కీ అంటాం. పబ్లిక్ కీని ఎన్క్రిప్షన్ కి యూజ్ చేస్తే దెన్ ప్రైవేట్ కీ ఈజ్ యూజ్డ్ ఫర్ డిక్రిప్షన్ పర్పస్. యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ private key is used for encryption, then public key is used for decryption purpose. So each and every user will have two keys. One is public key and one is private key. So the simple example is our email system. So whenever I am going to communicate with a person A, I have two keys. One is public key and one is private key. The public key is my mail ID and private key is my password. And same way I am going to communicate with person A. So A is also having his mail ID and his password. Okay, clear? Ma sender or receiver. I am the sender. I am having my mail ID and my password. Same way I am going to communicate with Rama. So Rama is also having his own mail ID and his own password. Clear ikkadiki? So mail ID is the public key and password is the private key. Na mail ID మీ అందరికి తెలుసుగా? హలో మా ఒకళ్ళు
Yes,
అన్మ్యూట్
ma'am.
చేసుకోండి. నా మెయిల్ ఐడి అందరికి తెలుసు. సో మై మెయిల్ ఐడి ఇస్ ద పబ్లిక్ కీ. నా పాస్వర్డ్ తెలియదుగా మీకు ఎవరికి?
No, ma'am.
సో పాస్వర్డ్ ఇస్ ద ప్రైవేట్ కీ. సేమ్ వే రామా మెయిల్ ఐడి అందరికి తెలుసుగా? ఎవరికైనా తెలుస్తుంది రామా మెయిల్ ఐడి, బట్ రామా పాస్వర్డ్ వీ డోంట్ నో. సో హియర్ ఇన్ పబ్లిక్ కీ ఎన్క్రిప్షన్ టెక్నిక్స్ all of the users will have two keys. One is public key and another one is private key. Public key is announced publicly. Private key is kept secret. మీ అందరికి నేను చెప్పేస్తాను. మీకు ఏదైనా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉంటే గనక vvaslakshmi@gmail.com. All of you send a mail to me, but I don't reveal my password. So public key is announced publicly and private key is kept secret with the sender or receiver, whoever it may be. సో పబ్లిక్ కీతో నేను మీకు ఒక మెయిల్ పంపిస్తున్నానమ్మా. మీరు ఎలా డిక్రిప్ట్ చేసుకుంటారు అంటే మీ మెయిల్కి వచ్చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ ప్రైవేట్ కీ. సో ఐ ఆమ్ గోయింగ్ టు యూజ్ యువర్ పబ్లిక్ కీ ఫర్ సెండింగ్ ఏ మెయిల్. ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వకుండా క్లియర్గా అర్థం చేసుకోండి. నేను మీతో కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటున్నాను. మీ పబ్లిక్ కి అంటే మీ మెయిల్ ఐడికి నేను ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ని ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు సెండ్. హౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ రిట్రీవ్డ్ అట్ యువర్ ఎండ్? ఎలా వస్తుంది? బై లాగింగ్ యువర్ మెయిల్ ఐడి విత్ యువర్ పాస్వర్డ్. సో ఇక్కడ బోత్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ మెయిల్ ఐడి అండ్ పాస్వర్డ్ ఆర్ రిలేటెడ్. మీ మెయిల్ ఐడి ఇచ్చిన పాస్వర్డ్ ఇస్తే ఓపెన్ అవుతుందా?
నో మ్యామ్.
సేమ్ వే నా పాస్వర్డ్ తో మీ మెయిల్ ఐడి ఓపెన్ కాదు కదా.
నో మ్యామ్.
సో నేను ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, ఎన్క్రిప్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు సీక్రెట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ పంపించాలి అంటే మీ పబ్లిక్ కీకి అంటే మీ మెయిల్ ఐడి, యువర్ మెయిల్ ఐడి ఈజ్ పబ్లిక్లీ నోన్. సో మీ మెయిల్ ఐడికి నేను ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ సెండ్ చేస్తున్నాను. సో ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు యూజ్ యువర్ పబ్లిక్ కీ అంటే రిసీవర్ పబ్లిక్ కీని నేను ఇక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను. మీరేం యూజ్ చేసుకుంటున్నారు అక్కడ డిక్రిప్ట్ చేయడానికి? ద రిసీవర్ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు యూజ్ హిజ్ ప్రైవేట్ కీ. మీ ప్రైవేట్ కీ కాంబినేషన్ తో మాత్రమే మీరు ఆ మెయిల్ అనేదాన్ని చూడగలుగుతున్నారు. దట్స్ వై దిస్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మెయింటైన్స్ కాన్ఫిడెన్షియాలిటీ. మనం ఏ కీ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాము అనే దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకొని ఇది కాన్ఫిడెన్షియాలిటీనా, ఆథెంటికేషనా, ఇంటిగ్రిటీనా, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ మే బి, ఇట్ విల్ బి డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ ప్యూర్లీ ద కీస్ విచ్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు యూస్. అంత డెప్త్ గా ఇప్పుడు వద్దు, ఆ యూనిట్ కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు చూద్దాం. హియర్ ద పబ్లిక్ కీ కన్సిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ 2 keys and 1 key is used for encryption and the other key is used for decryption, and both of these 2 keys are mathematically related. All of these are the some examples: RSA, Diffie-Hellman, elliptic curve cryptography, and all of these are the examples for public key crypto systems. Public key crypto systems are also known as asymmetric encryption techniques. Private key crypto systems are also known as symmetric encryption techniques. These are the types of cryptography. So I have already told that security goals. The main security goals are confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality means to maintain the information in secure manner. Nobody can reveal it or nobody can see it. That is the confidentiality. Integrity means the information should be maintained in a correct form. Any unauthorized person is not able to modify the information. Next one is availability. Whenever an authorized user wants to make any change or wants to request the information regarding something, it is always available. It is always available to retrieve the information. These are the 3 security goals. So these are the cryptographic attacks. I have already told to you. First one is crypt analytic, రెండోది non-crypt analytic. So here all the mathematical techniques and mathematically related operations are performed in crypt analytic techniques. All of these belongs to crypt analysis. Here the attacker is going to try so many keys. For how much times? He is able to identify the information. Up to that he may tries all the possible keys. This process is done with the help of divide and conquer strategy. Here some non-crypt analytic techniques are also, attacks are also there. These are the crypt analytic. So these are the operations which we are going to use some mathematical properties and mathematical applications. Here the attacker is going to converting the ciphertext into the plain text, but he don't know key, he guesses the key. So he guesses so many keys. One by one, he is trying to derive the plain text from the ciphertext. So this is also known as crypt analysis. So these are the cryptographic attacks. These are the different types of attacks. One is snooping, second one is traffic analysis. These two attacks are related to the confidentiality. Here snooping means the attacker will the attacker is able to monitor the information, and he is also knows what is going to see on the network. So here we lost the confidentiality, snooping. But he is not do anything. He is not modify anything. So this is the type of passive attack. Here passive attack means no alteration is done. Here is the traffic analysis. Traffic analysis means the attacker always tries to guess or always tries to guess something. It is useful for future attacks. What long data they may send, how frequently they are going to communicate, and in which time they are going to communicate. All these are in the traffic analysis. So the attacker analyzes the information, but in this case, the attacker is not able to see the information, and his main aim is not the information. His main aim is how frequent, how long the messages are going to send in from between sender and the receiver. These are the traffic analysis. This traffic analysis is useful for future attacks. Okay, these two are the confidentiality threats. Same way, these four are the threats to the integrity. Here the modification. In this case, the attacker not only sees the information, but he captures the data which is going from sender to the receiver, and some modifications are done by the attacker and again resend to the receiver. So the receiver will receive the information which is modified by the hacker or the attacker. So here masquerading. Masquerading means the attacker will act as a authorized person, will act as a real sender. He is not a real sender, but he is acting as a real sender, that is said to be masquerading or sniffing. Third one is replaying attack. So replaying means the same information will be resended so many times to the receiver. Repudiation. Here the repudiation means the sender or the receiver, whoever it may be, the information is denied. Once the receiver receives the information, but he tells that the information is not received by ourselves. Same way, the sender also sends the information, but he tries to ask that the information is not sent by himself or herself. That is the repudiation. So here these are the concepts related to threats related to integrity. Okay, next one is denial of service. DOS means denial of service attack. Here this attack relates to the threat to the unavailability. So it may slow down the system, or it stops servicing the system. So how it is possible means, so the attacker wants to crash the system, so he is going to send so many bogus requests or huge requests, or he is going to put a heavy load on the server. So that's why the server is not responded, and the authorized persons are not able to get the information whenever they want. So this is the threat related to the availability. These are the cryptographic attacks. So here already we are told snooping. Just he observes the contents, what are going from Bob to Alice. Here Bob is the sender and Alice is the receiver. This is the traffic analysis. The scenario is the same, but here the attacker will not read the contents. Instead of reading the contents, he may observe what they are doing. He may observe what they are doing, how frequently they are going to communicate, and what the messages, what is the length of that messages. All of these are observed by the attacker. Here, in the sense, Darth is an attacker. So here, modification. If you are clearly observed that the arrow is not here, so the information which are going to send by the Bob is captured by the Darth. Darth modifies some information or alters some information and then only sends that data to the allies. So the data which is received by the allies is not the exactly sent data by the Bob. This is the modification scenario. Here, masquerading. It is also known as spoofing. In this case, Darth will act as a Bob. Darth will act as a Bob. He may stolen his mail ID or password. He may stolen his password, and with the help of his mail ID and his password, he may send the information. This is the masquerading or spoofing. Here, this is the replay attack. So, one mail is sent from Bob to allies. The same information is captured by the Darth, and he also sends the information so many times to the allies. So, the same information came from the Bob at so many times as it is seen by the allies. So allies think that the information may contain some virus. So this is the replay attack. Next one is the non-repudiation, and last one is the DOS attack. Here, Bob is an authorized person. He is not requesting anything to the server. But Darth intentionally sends so many requests to the server to become the server overloaded. That's why whenever the Bob sends an information, the server may not be able to respond his request. This is the scenario of DOS attack. DOS means denial of service. The server will deny to service, to సర్వ్ చేయడానికి డెనే చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ డిఓఎస్ denial of service attack. These are the attacks, types of cryptography attacks. So here the differences between active and passive attacks, and what are the active attacks and what are the passive attacks. Here all of these 7 are the various types of non-cryptanalytic attacks. Here there is no concept of mathematical applications. Here there is the attacker is not trying for the key information. He simply tries for the text or tries for the information. So here snooping and traffic analysis, these two attacks are not doing anything about the information. So that's why these two are comes under passive attacks, and all of remaining 5 attacks comes under active attacks. Active attacks means these types of attacks are going to modify or going to alter something. So these types of attacks are also called as active attacks. So these are the attacks. Next one, security services. All of these security services are defined by ITUT. So here ITUT means International Telecommunication Union. ITU means International Telecommunication Union. T stands for Telecommunication Standardization Sector. So ITU stands for International Telecommunication Union. T stands for Telecommunication Standardization Sector. It provides some security services, and security mechanisms are also provides by this ITU only. The security mechanisms are used to implement the security services. So, both of these security services and mechanisms are closely related. Closely related. So, combination of security mechanisms are used to provide a security service. So, the following are the security services. These are the 5 common security services. The first security service is comes for data confidentiality, and second service is used for data integrity, and third one is for authentication, and fourth one is non repudiation, and fifth one is for access control. All of these are 5 security basic security services. So all of these services are used to provide to achieve security goals and to encounter the attacks which is performed by an hacker or an attacker. So all of these are the security services. We already know about what is data confidentiality and what is data integrity, what is meant by authentication, what is meant by non-repudiation, and what is meant by access control. All of these are security services. Security services. Okay. Any doubts? మా డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
ఓకే, మీకు ఇప్పుడు చాట్ విండోలో ఒక లింక్ వస్తుందమ్మా. ఆ లింక్ లో ఓన్లీ ఈ రోజు చెప్పిన కాన్సెప్ట్స్ కి సంబంధించి ఐ హావ్ గివెన్ ఓన్లీ 10 బిట్స్. సో 10 బిట్స్ మీరు లింక్ లో ఫిల్ చేయండి, ఆన్సర్ చేయండి. ఓన్లీ 10 బిట్స్ ఇస్ దేర్. జస్ట్ లింక్ ప్లేస్ చేస్తున్నాను నేను.